So what motivates you?
What motivates me for what? Life?
Exercise, life,
Exercise, life.
anything.
There's a lot of things that motivate me.
Yeah.
I'm lucky in that sense. I have a lot of. I think I have a giant boulder on like each shoulder that I carry every single day, and I can just like pick a stone off that boulder and decide what's going to motivate me for that day. But the first thing that comes to my mind is my wife. She motivates me probably more than anything in the world. We were. I was part of her family before we dated. It was my best friend's sister, and she's always been, a great athlete, incredibly hardworking, super artistic, super creative, really good at school. Went to Boston and did the college thing in Boston. Came back, and everything she decides she's going to do, she crushes it, and she really earns it and really works towards it. So she motivates me, to be the best I can be at everything. Motivates me to be the best husband, the best father, the best worker, all that stuff. She crushes it every single day. I don't know how she finds the time to do the things she does in a day.
Right.
My kids motivate me. You know this feeling. You really start to check yourself once you have kids, and then you start to see their behaviors, and you're like, that's me, and I don't like that. How do I fix that and change that so that, that's a part of me I didn't realize I didn't like, and I don't want them to have that. I want them to be a better version of me. And then obviously, having kids changes the way you do things throughout the day. I used to be quite the cowboy back in the day. Work hard, play hard, jump off the roof into the pool type, crash my snowmobile into a tree, going 50 miles an hour, that kind of stuff. So that stuff motivates me to be a good person. And then, I think struggles I've had. There's times, I grew up in a really nice home. Parents split, and we had quite a big rough patch of years. And there were years where solid stretches of years, probably with like some of your most like developmental periods. There were nights, we didn't have heat, didn't have hot water.
Really?
Didn't have food. I had a paper route, and paper route was buying groceries. You know what I mean? That's no knock on my parents. It was just they were dealing with their own thing, and couldn't deal with other things at the time. And I don't.
Like made you tougher though. You think?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I was, in 7th grade, I was mentally, I knew I was at the time, mentally tougher than every other kid I was going to school with. And there were other kids with issues too. When I say every other kid, everyone has difficult issues, and there were probably kids that had harder times than me. But I remember thinking that like other kids were chasing girls and stuff like that, and I was worried, man, what am I going to eat for lunch, or what am I going to eat for dinner?
How old about?
I was
middle school.
I was 7th grade when that started, and it was all through high school. I actually lived with my uncle.
Wow.
Once I got into high school, I just kind of made the decision myself to go live with him. But I made my own rules. I talked to my parents, but I was, to and from practice, and I would do my own homework, and I put myself to bed, and a lot of it was, me and my uncle, or just me and myself, and I've always hung on to that. I've because I knew that times were tough, and I knew that if me and my middle sister that lived through most of it, we could get through that, then we could get through anything. And now I look at things like you talk about like getting up in the morning and being motivated. It's like I've got 2 beautiful kids, a great job, great friends. I'm healthy. I'm happy. Like, why not be motivated to do whatever today? I still remember what it's like to not eat dinner. I'll always remember. I remember what it's like to be cold. I remember what it's like to go to school, stinky. I remember those things. So I never have a lack of motivation. Like I never have. I'm always put more on my plate. I would say my biggest thing is like trying to learn to be happy with what you have, but I don't want to stop getting more.
Right.
So trying to find that middle ground. A family friend, he's got 2 beautiful daughters, and they're like idols to us. He just said this like a month ago. We were having a couple beers with family friends, and he's like, I found the secret to life. And he goes, just be grateful for what you have. And I was like, well, that's pretty simple. And I was like, you know, why not? Just be grateful for what you have.
Seriously. Yeah.
And like, you know, you turn around, you look, and you know, you got a beautiful house, you got a beautiful family, you got a beautiful garage. You know, sitting here, be grateful for what you have. So, but still, don't stop. I mean, you're not stopping.
No.
Challenging yourself and career-wise and fitness-wise. So, trying to find that balance of like, you push yourself and you push yourself and you push yourself, and then you look back and you're like, where'd the time go? You got to make sure like you enjoy that suck, I guess. Enjoy that period.
You talk about the oh geez, I lost my. Where was I? I had something cool.
I don't know. I just talked for a while though. So
something really cool. So like, probably part of your positivity though, what made you, is going through that hard time.
Yeah.
But we don't want our kids to go through that hard time.
No.
And I think the one thing, like as a parent, and I'm interested in how you think about how you were raised and stuff. I decided the one thing I'm like, I don't want to be, before helicopter parents were a thing. Yeah. But I knew I didn't want to be that. Yeah. You know, they didn't have a name yet. But yeah. I was like, I want to challenge my kids as much as I want to be there and supportive. Yeah. But I don't want to do things for them. I want them to overcome. Yeah. Because I think part of me knows that going through the struggle makes you better. Yeah. Whatever level that is, whatever you're working through, you know. But I'm sure that struggle formed you. Yeah. So I struggle with that, but in a good way. It's you know, I definitely have like things I work through, right, and things I have to, you know, continue to work on. Right. But I struggle with that because, you know, my kids, we go to Target on a weekend or something like that. And, you know, my kids will be like, or my son will be like, hey, I really want this. And never like, not to brag or anything, but like, never in my mind does it come across me that we can't afford that. And I'm like, well, yeah, we can buy that. Why not? Sure. Right. Sounds good. But when I was a kid, it was like, you didn't even think to ask for stuff because, you know, we couldn't afford it. Right. And like, I don't know how to do that because I can drive through town and point at all the different little shacks I lived in without heat, without food, without water. And that definitely formed who I am, but I would never want my kid to struggle through that. But it's definitely formed the man I am today, right, and I'm grateful for those moments. I really am. But how do I make my kid, right, you know, how do I make him suffer enough to be grateful for what he has? Right. But I want to give him the world. Right. No, I know. You know, so it's like I genuinely don't know the answer to that one. That's one of the toughest things I kind of. Yeah. Yeah.